Hi everyone, this is part 3 of my playthrough as Maxwell. I built the basic structures in my base, but my pig farm is not completed yet. I'll need more logs to spend the remaining pigskin I've gathered, so I'm going to the walrus camp for my walking cane, and I can let the shadow puppets chop the surrounding forest in the walrus area for the logs that I need for the pig farm. I was a little surprised to see that the hounds didn't follow the walrus. I'm not sure why that happened, so I just ignored the hounds and chased the walrus. I got the tusk in the first try, which was pretty lucky. I would have had to return to this area every 3 days during winter until I got one. I stayed in the forest for a while to gather enough logs to finish the pig farm. I also wanted a tree guard to spawn for the living logs that I needed in order to craft the shadow manipulator. Waiting for a tree guard to spawn can take a very long time, but it isn't so bad because we can always use the extra wood in the early game. I also might as well take down these spider nests while I waited for the shadow puppets to do all the work. While fighting the tree guard that finally spawned, I made a mistake and allowed it to burn. I thought the area was clear and safe from burning, but I forgot about the tree stumps. I don't really mind the forest burning, and I don't think the fire will spread that far once I enter the wormhole back to the swamp. But I was worried though about losing these berry bushes to the fire. But it looked like the berry bushes were safe for now, so I decided to just finish off the tree guard before entering the wormhole. Waiting for that tree guard to spawn took forever, and I was able to gather a lot of logs. Now, I have enough to finish the big farm, and I can also build a few more chests to get my inventory a lot more organized. The pig farm will provide me with food from the meat and weapons and armor from the pigskin. It does not take a lot of time to use this farm, and does provide more than I need before the pigs start respawning again, and I can repeat the process. Now that I have a productive farm, I don't have to spend that much time gathering food for winter, and I can do what I want before spring arrives. I'm getting my third hound wave, and this time I decided that I do not want to fight them. My lanterns are almost out of fuel, and it's about time that I craft a chest full of lanterns, so that I do not have to worry about my light source for a while. I went down to the caves to gather light bulbs, and I also wanted to skip the hound wave. I was going to use jerky for the fight with Deerclops, but this sinkhole led right to a green mushroom forest, and since I still have my shadow puppets, I thought I might as well use cooked green mushrooms to regain my sanity during the fight with Deerclops. When we enter caves to interrupt a hound wave from taking place, the hounds will no longer spawn when we return to the surface. I can still hear the hounds as if they are about to come for me, but I know that this is not going to happen anymore, so I'm free to gather grass to craft my lanterns, and I don't have to look around for a way to deal with the hounds. I like to have at least 2 chests full of lanterns eventually, which is enough for autumn, winter, and spring. When I go down to the caves for summer, I can gather a lot of light bulbs to refuel all of the lanterns when I return to the surface for the next autumn. I was intentionally making myself insane several times so that I can farm more nightmare fuel. I have 6 living logs, and after using 3 of them for the shadow manipulator, I'll have 3 that I can make into 3 dark swords, and I need 15 nightmare fuel to craft those 3 dark swords. I've decided to kill off my shadow puppets again. I want my sanity to be full when I fight Deerclops, and I think he would have probably killed the shadow puppets anyway. The first Deerclops should always come at the night of day 30, so I'm moving away from my base while I wait for it to arrive. Kiting Deerclops with 3 attacks before dodging is pretty safe. I can attack 4 times if I get the timing right, but I do get hit sometimes when I go for 4 attacks. What I should be doing is looking for a road so that I can attack it 4 times and safely move away with the speed from the roads. It is hard to find roads with the ground all covered in snow, but I could have checked my map to find a nearby road. Deerclops does 75 damage to us if we are not wearing any armor, so it would pretty much one-hit kill Maxwell if I wasn't wearing a football helm. But Deerclops is simple enough as long as I have armor and the items to prevent myself from going insane. Killing Deerclops during the first winter is important so that I can craft the eyebrow for spring. On its own, the eyebrow provides complete protection from rain, and that'll make spring a lot simpler. planned on killing Dragonfly in advance, which is why I made those dark swords. The dark swords are not really necessary, but Dragonfly is a dangerous fight for Maxwell, so I wanted to shorten the fight as much as possible. 4 dark swords would have been enough, but I only had the living logs to make 3 of them. Now I have to prepare the area before fighting Dragonfly. First, I want to clear the nearby hounds. I want to have a way of keeping the larvae away from me. There are a few ways to block them. What I did here is the method I prefer if I'm playing solo. I'm going to use a magma pool along with a line of walls. The larvae are programmed to consider the walls when they move towards us, but they are not able to sense the magma. As far as their movement is concerned, they will think the fastest way to get to me is through the space between the walls, but the magma that they do not sense will block them from getting to me. I've tried using this method before with other players, but in my experience, it sometimes gets a little bit chaotic with others, especially if I was playing on a public server. Where everyone stands determines whether the larvae try to go for the space in between with the magma, or around the sides. This can get messy if not everyone in the game, including myself, is coordinated. I guess I could just add more walls so that it would make it simpler with other players. But I find it a lot easier to just use the method of a large box of walls when dragonflies fought as a group. It's probably good that I noticed the spiders at this point. I think there was a good chance that these spiders would have interrupted the fight, so I decided to wait around the area until morning to get rid of the nearby spider nest before fighting Dragonfly. Similar to Deerclops, Dragonfly's attack does 75 damage, which would also mean a one-hit kill to Maxwell without armor. With a football helm that absorbs 80% of the damage, I would take 15 damage with each attack, which means I can afford to get hit 4 times before an attack would be fatal. And in my mind, getting hit 3 times would already be too dangerous. Dragonfly moves faster than us, and it is not safe for me to run and heal myself right before a fatal attack. I also don't have a way of avoiding the first hit from Dragonfly as it approaches me, so after absorbing the first attack, I will only allow myself 1 or 2 mistakes at most before I use the panther to put Dragonfly to sleep and give me the opportunity to safely heal myself. After Dragonfly's approaching attack, I can attack it 6 times before I will run straight back to dodge. After that, I will attack it 5 times before I move away to dodge its next attack. What I want is for Dragonfly to stay in place while it attacks me. If I move away to dodge too early, Dragonfly will start moving towards me with its next attack. So I have a slight pause before I completely move away from Dragonfly and keep it in place. If I were to place down cobblestones in this area, I could constantly just attack Dragonfly 6 times and move straight back without pausing, which would make this a lot simpler and faster. But it does take some time to prepare the cobblestone flooring, and I wanted to fight Dragonfly already. I've done this fight enough to know that I can manage without the flooring. This was the first time I tried soloing Dragonfly with Maxwell, but I was willing to overuse the pan flute to keep myself safe. With Maxwell, kiting Dragonfly might have been a necessity for me. I would normally recommend that if you are not comfortable dodging Dragonfly yet, then just tank it with a lot of healing and armor. But I am not sure how applicable that is to Maxwell. I didn't want to find out in this playthrough, but I think Maxwell might have to heal too often if he tried to tank Dragonfly. With this setup, there is always a chance that Dragonfly spawns the first larvae from the magma that I'm using to block myself. That's not so bad though, since this is the first one spawned by Dragonfly, which should burst into flames before Dragonfly returns to fight me, so I just have to run around a little until then. I was about to take freezing damage from the cold, so I had to kite Dragonfly in the direction of the magma to keep myself warm. I'm not sure how to explain what I did here. I guess I thought I still had the light from the thermal stone, and that I could drop the lantern further away to cover more area with light. But I can't do that, and I get hit by Charlie instead. Now the larvae have gone around the walls, and at this point, I know I'm just going to use the pan flute to get myself back in line as soon as Dragonfly approaches. The pan flute is in my keyboard shortcut so that I can use it quickly as soon as Dragonfly rages. I sometimes had trouble remembering what I was planning to do when I re-entered the game, so I try to remind myself by arranging my inventory first and by carrying the items I will be using for the next part. That's all for now, guys. In the next part, I started my grass and twig farms. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you then.